Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now last week I put up on my community tab a poll saying which album more I should do: the Beatles' Help against Rubber Soul and Elvis Costello, this year's model, against Armed Forces. Now there are actually two sets of albums I really don't know which I prefer. That's why I want to do this album more, even though it is just a bit of fun. Now the Beatles won that poll, but I've decided to do both sets, and this one is this year's model against Armed Forces. Now these are my two favourite Elvis Costello albums, and I don't really know which one I prefer. I love them both. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through each of the albums, tracks 1 to 12, and so track 1 against track 1 off the other album, and see which one gets a point. Tally up the points and see which wins. But I'm also going to rank the songs and pair them off, so my favourite against the favourite of the second album, my second favourite against my second favourite, etc., and see which wins that way. So starting off, we have No Action from this year's model against Accidents Will Happen from Armed Forces. This is actually the most difficult one of the lot, because these are two of my favourite songs off the album. I love the both of them. I especially love the opener, No Action. I think it's really one of the best openers he's ever done, but this is even better, so I'm going to have to give it to Accidents Will Happen from Armed Forces. So that's 1-0 to Armed Forces. We then have This Year's Girl against Senior Service. Now I do like both of these again, but I've always loved Senior Service. I love the choppiness of it. I think it's a great little song, and so it gets my point. So that's 2-0 to Armed Forces. Third is The Beat, which starts off similar lyrics to We're All Going on a Summer Holiday, but it's a really good song, but it's up against Oliver's Army, and it has no hope against this song, because this is my all-time favourite Elvis Costello song, so it wins. So that's 3-0 actually to Armed Forces. We then get Pump It Up, a great single from this year's model, against Big Boys, another really good track off this, and this is actually closer than you think, but I would have to give it to Pump It Up. It's got that sort of subterranean homesick blues vibe about it, but it's excellent. We then have Little Triggers, which is slightly more slowy, more waltzy type song, against Green Shirt, which became a single in 1985 to promote the Man, the Best Of album. I have to give it to Green Shirt. Really love it. Really catchy little song. And then you have You Belong to Me against Party Girl. Now You Belong to Me is quite upbeat, but it is not brilliant. It's okay. Party Girl is very slow, and again, it's not brilliant. It's not one of my favourites. I'm giving it to You Belong to Me. I just think it's better fun. Then we have Hand in Hand from this year's model against Goon Squad, which is a song that I was never that keen on, but in playing these albums again, I really enjoyed this, but I'm still going to give it to Hand in Hand, so it wins. And another really difficult one is I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea against Busybodies. I really like this. I really like the sort of reggae type groove to it. It's a little bit like watching The Detectives, although I do prefer this to watching The Detectives, but this one here wins for me just, and it's Busybodies. It's one of my favourites off the album. So we have Lip Service against Sunday's Best. Two really good songs. Now Sunday's Best wasn't on the US version. That was what's so funny about Peace, Love and Understanding. I do prefer Sunday's Best, but still Lip Service gets it for me. It's really in your face, really good upbeat new wave song. Then we have Living in Paradise against Moods for Modern, and without a shadow of a doubt it's Living in Paradise, because I don't like Moods for Modern. It's got a really poor chorus. So far we're sitting at 5 points each. We then have Lipstick Vogue against Chemistry Class. Two really good songs, but Lipstick Vogue wins it for me, which means it's 6-5 to this year's model. And then Night Rally against Two Little Hitlers. I like both songs, but I have to give it to Two Little Hitlers, even though if you actually listen to the chorus of it, you can hear a little bit of Rebel guitar in there, but it's a very good song. So it works out as 6-6. So if we go to the ranking, and this is how I've ranked the songs from each album. Okay, so Hand in Hand v Oliver's Army. Oliver's Army every time. No Action v Accidents Will Happen. Well, they were up against each other in the first round as well, and it's Accidents Will Happen. Lip Service v Busybodies, and it's Lip Service. I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea against Senior Service, and I'm giving it to I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea. And Pump It Up against Green Shirt, and I'll give it to Pump It Up. The Beat against Sunday's Best, and Sunday's Best gets it. This Year's Girl against Big Boys. I'm actually giving it to Big Boys. I think it's really good. Lipstick Vogue against Goon Squad. I do really like the both of these, but I think Lipstick Vogue wins just. Living in Paradise against Two Little Hitlers, and it's Two Little Hitlers. Little Triggers against Chemistry Class, and I'll give it to Chemistry Class. You Belong to Me against Party Girl, and it's You Belong to Me. And Night Rally against Moods for Modern, and it's Night Rally. Moods for Modern is the worst track on the whole two albums. And this time it's this year's model 5 and Armed Forces 7. So if you take that into consideration, I prefer Armed Forces, but I really do love the both of them. I always thought Armed Forces was his best, but I was never too sure. But this is only a bit of fun, that's all it is. So two fantastic albums. Okay, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.